Going to go ahead and begin the timer for you. You will be given 5 minutes to solve this question. You can go ahead and answer in the chat window. Let us start with the first question. Here it goes. The set of all values of lambda for which the system of linear equation, three equations are given to you, has a non-trivial solution. So you have to go ahead and tell when will this set have a non-trivial solution. For what values of lambda will it have a non-trivial solution? The options are lambda has two elements, lambda contains more than two elements, it is a singleton set, or it is an empty set. I'm giving you 5 minutes to answer this question. As you can see, in the window, the time is ticking by. Go ahead and try to answer this question. And then I will tell you the answer to this question. So you have to go ahead and tell what are the set of all values of lambda for which you will have a non-trivial solution. Please solve it. You can go ahead, post your answer in the window so that we know whether you are attempting it correctly or not. Last 1 minute left for you to solve this. Then I will answer it for you. Okay, time's up. Let us go ahead and see how we can solve this kind of question. And these are the kind of question that will definitely come in exam. So you are given these three equations, and first of all, your aim should be to make the right hand side equal to 0. So what I will do is I will bring everything on the left hand side. I will rewrite these equations so that I have everything on the left hand side. So just think about it. The right hand side says lambda x. Bring lambda x on the left hand side. So you will rewrite this equation like this. Can you see this? This is 1 minus lambda x. So I have taken this lambda x onto the left hand side. Similarly, lambda y can be taken onto the left hand side. So I will now have 2 minus lambda y. And the other was anyways 0. So I have rewritten these three equations. How? The three equations are rewritten such that the right hand side should be 0. I hope this is making sense. Now, after you go ahead and make the right hand side 0, what is the thing required for a non-trivial solution? Very simple. We want that the determinant should be 0. So why am I saying this? Look here. See, whenever you have three equations, please remember this, revise with me. Whenever you have three equations and the equations are of this format, a1x plus b1y plus c1z equal to 0, a2x plus b2y plus c2z is equal to 0, a3x plus b3y plus c3z equal to 0. Whenever you have these three equations which have the right hand side 0, for a non-trivial solution, you want that the determinant should be 0. So in this case also, when I rewrote these equations, I wanted that the determinant should be 0. So you just have to find the determinant beta and equate it to 0. Now it's very simple, just solve for the determinant. So when you solve for the determinant, this is how you can go ahead and find the determinant of the matrix and equate it to 0. When you do that, you will get lambda minus 1 whole cube equal to 0. So lambda's value will be 1. Very, very simple question. The only thing that you have to think is, when is there a non-trivial solution? A non-trivial solution will exist when the determinant of these equations, when I write it in the matrix form, its determinant should be equal to 0. So when you solve for it, the only value of lambda that gives you the determinant 0 is 1. So the answer to this question beta should be that it is just one value of lambda. It's singleton and the value of lambda is 1. I hope this is clear. It is an important question from exam point of view. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and show you the next question. I will give you 5 minutes to solve this question again, and then I will start with the answer. So I'm starting the timer. Go ahead and solve this question. If P and Q are positive real number such that P square plus Q square is 1, then what is the maximum value of P plus Q? 4 values are given to you. Again, just think about it. P and Q are positive real number, only positive. P square plus Q square is 1. What is the maximum value of P plus Q? 5 minutes, go ahead and solve this question. Okay, I'm eagerly waiting. If few of you have solved it, please post your answer in the chat window. Let's see. It's okay. There is nothing to be scared of. We should be practicing together. So go ahead and answer it in the chat window. Whatever you think is the answer. P and Q are real numbers such that P square plus Q square is 1. What is the maximum value of P plus Q? Okay, so students are saying that the answer should be D. Let's have a look and see if that's the correct answer or not. Now, this is a very interesting question. In this question, beta, you have to go ahead and apply the AM-GM inequality. What do I mean by AM-GM inequality? Arithmetic mean, geometric mean inequality. Let my first number be P square. Let my second number be Q square. So when I talk about AM, arithmetic mean, it will be P square plus Q square by 2. All of us agree? Mean is nothing but sum of 2 digits divided by the number of digits. So P square plus Q square by 2 will be AM. What will be GM? GM is given by the first number into second number to the power of that root, right? So if there are two numbers, I have to do a square root. So it will be P square Q square under root. So when I do P square Q square under root, I will get PQ. This means that P square plus Q square plus 2 beta, which is nothing but my arithmetic mean, this has to be greater than equal to PQ. Okay? Now, this implies, if I just solve for it, that PQ will be less than equal to half. So why have I got PQ less than equal to half? Because it is clearly given to me, beta, that P square plus Q square is 1. So if P square plus Q square is 1, then can I not just go ahead and can I not just put instead of P square plus Q square 1 here? And if I put 1 here, I will just get this as 1 by 2. So what I will have is that 1 by 2 is greater than equal to half. Now, all of us know that P plus Q whole square can be written as P square plus Q square plus 2PQ. P square plus Q square is given to me as 1. So this I will replace with 1. And this I will write simply as 2PQ. But beta, PQ is less than equal to half. So 2PQ will be less than equal to 1. So if PQ is less than equal to half, I can simply write that 2PQ will be less than equal to 1. So that means this entire thing will be less than equal to 1 plus 1. So this entire thing will be less than equal to 2. So P plus Q whole square will be less than equal to 2. So that means P plus Q will be less than equal to root 2. That's the answer to this question. So very, very simple. I'm using two things here. First, the AM-GM inequality, which says that arithmetic mean, so we used this first, that arithmetic mean is greater than equal to geometric mean. And second, I just used a basic thing of P plus Q whole square to solve this question. That's it. Okay. So now let's move on. This is a question from macroeconomics. I have picked a relatively easy question. Let's see if you're able to solve this or not. I'm going to start the timer. I will give you 5 minutes to solve this question. The question is as follows. Okay, so suppose an economy's national accounts are given to you. GDP is 100, consumption is 70, investment 40, government expenditure 20, NFP 0, and exports 20. Find the savings rate of this economy. So you have to find the savings rate of this economy. Okay, one answer that we have received is C. Just a hint here, see that you are given exports only. Import value is missing from this question. Think about it now. Okay, time's up. Let us go ahead and let us try to solve this question on our own now. So, beta, let's go ahead and have a look at the question. सबसे important बात बेटा, first of all understand that in this question net factor payment is 0. In a way NFIA is 0. So GDP and GNP mean the same thing. Just for your information, GDP and GNP mean the same thing since net factor payment is given to you as 0. Okay. Now let's have a look at the question. So beta, we know the basic formula that y is equal to c plus I plus g plus nx. Okay. What is nx? Nx is x minus m. What is nx? It is very simple. It is export minus import. Import is not given to us, beta, but all other things are given to us. I know what is y. I know what is c, what is I, what is g, and what is x. Only m is missing from this question. Find the value of imports then. So I will just go ahead and do that. 100 is equal to 70 plus 40 plus 20 plus 20 minus import. Everything else is given to me. Consumption, investment, government expenditure, and export. So from here, when I will solve for it, I will get that import should be 50. First of all, try and understand that we, from the data, from the information, are trying to find the value of import. And we are getting that imports should be 50. Now, let us move one step ahead. But the next thing that I'm using is what is current account. Current account is export minus import. Simple. So now I know that export is 20. Import is 50. What will be your current account? Current account will be minus 30. So now we have got that current account, which is export minus import, should be minus 30. Now, after we have found the current account, I must go ahead and I must use the definition of the identity that we teach in the first lecture. What is the identity? Saving is equal to investment plus CA plus current account. So beta, current account I have got as minus 30. Investment is 40. So 40 minus 30 will be 10. So savings will be 10. Right? This is just using your identity. Your identity says that S is equal to I plus CA. So I is 40. CA I have found as minus 30. So I plus CA will be 10. So my savings will be 10. Now what is the savings rate? The question is asking. So rate is always as a proportion of GDP. So savings rate will be savings, which is 10 in this case, by income, which is 100 in this case, GDP, into 100. So that will come as 10%. This is the answer to your question. Answer should be 10%. Again, let me just explain it to you. Very simple. First of all, from the equation, y is equal to c plus I plus g plus nx, I found out the value of imports. Then I found out what will be my current account deficit by using export minus import. Then I used my savings investment identity by saying that S is equal to I plus CA. And from here, I found out the value of savings, which is 10. And using that, I could go ahead and find the savings rate, which is at 10%. Clear? Okay. Now, I will move on to the next question. But this is your next question. Please read this and try to answer this thing. Very simple question. I am going ahead and starting the timer. Consider an economy with following production function. Y is equal to, this is a Cobb-Douglas production function, K to the power 1 by 3, L to the power 2 by 3. Economy has 1,000 capital and 1,000 worker. Derive total amount earned by workers. And options are given to you. Please try this question. Okay, a lot of you are answering B. Let's see if that's the answer or not. We'll take last 1 minute and then I will tell you the answer to this question. Okay, time's up. Let's have a look at the question. So yes, indeed, the answer that you were answering should be correct. It's very simple, beta. In this case, we know that the real wage that the workers should get should be equal to the marginal product of labor. So I can go ahead and I can find the marginal product of labor. In order to find marginal product of labor, it is very simple. You will just differentiate your production function with respect to L. So when you will differentiate this production function with respect to L, power will come down, 2 by 3 will come down and power will reduce by 1. So you will simply go ahead and get something like this. This is what you will get. This is marginal product of labor. You will go ahead and equate this marginal product of labor to the real wage. So this will be real wage. Now, beta, you are already given in this question that labor and capital are 1,000 each. So K is also 1,000 and L is also 1,000. If both K and L are 1,000, so this will simply be 2 by 3 because K and L will cancel out each other. Both are equal to 1,000 in this case. So the real wage will be equal to 2 by 3. But the question is not asking about real wage. The question is actually asking what is the amount that will be earned by the workers. In order to answer the question about the amount earned by worker, you will multiply the wage with the number of workers. So if each worker is earning real wage equal to 2 by 3 and there are 1,000 workers, so what will be the total wage? 666. Right? If they would have in the question given you the value of P also, suppose they would have mentioned that price is 2. So nominal wage bhi nikal sakta tha. I could have found out the nominal wage by putting P as 2. So I could have found out W by L. But in this question, they have not given me the price, right? So I can only find the total real income earned by the workers. And that will be the real income, real wage into the number of workers. So it will come down as 667. That's the answer to your question. Okay, let us move on to the next question. This is your next question, beta. Question number 5. I'm starting the timer. I'll give you 5 minutes to solve this question. In 3 independent throws of a fair dice, let X denote the number of upper face showing 6. Find the value of expectation of 3 minus X whole square. You have 5 minutes to solve this question. Okay, so we are receiving answer as A. It's a pretty simple question. You're just asked to find expectation of 3 minus x whole square. Okay, time's up. Let's have a look at the solution to this question. So, beta, see that it is a dice that you're throwing. You are interested in the number of sixes. So getting a 6 is a success. And getting any other digit is a failure. So very simple, we can simply say that x is distributed binomially with n is equal to 3 and p is equal to 1 by 6, right? Now I have to find expectation of x. Very simple. If anything is a binomial distribution, expectation of x will be n into p. So n is 3, p is 1 by 6, so ex will be 1 by 2. Variance of x will be npq, right? So n is 3, this is my n, and this is my p. So npq will be 3 into 1 by 6 into 5 by 6. It is going to be 5 by 12. So I have been able to find out the expectation of x and the variance of x. Now let's try to open this up. So when we go ahead and open this up, I will get expectation of 3 minus x whole square as, so 3 square is, so I'm just using a minus b whole square will be a square plus b square minus 2ab. So it will be expectation of 9, which will be 9 itself, plus expectation of x square minus 6 expectation of x. Beta, now just think. What is variance of x? Variance of x is expectation of x square minus expectation of x whole square. So from here, what will be expectation of x square? Variance of x plus expectation of x whole square. This is what I have replaced it with. Minus 6 expectation of x. I know the value of variance of x. It is 5 by 12. I have written that. I know the value of ex, 1 by 2. I have written that. I know the value of ex. I have written that. When we go ahead and we solve this, we will get the answer as 20 by 3. So the answer to this question, as you correctly wrote, is going to be A, which is 20 by 3. Okay, let us move on to the next question. Again, it's a simple question, but the wording has to be thought of. Okay, so it says, I'm starting the timer first. Read down the question. Suppose that price of muffins is reduced once you buy at least a dozen muffin. So each muffin up to dozen cost one price, and after dozen is sold at a lower price. Then which of the following option is true? So you're given 5 minutes to solve this question. Post your answer in the chat. Okay, we have received one answer as A. Just think about this, okay? It's a pretty simple question. Try to graph this once better. Okay, time's up. Let's have a look at this question together. So for those of you who said B, let us have a look if that's the correct answer or not. Very simple, beta. We can just take some random prices and check. It says for the first 12 muffins, the price is high. And then the price becomes low. So let us say that for the first 12 muffin, each muffin comes at a price of, let's say, 4. And then later, each muffin comes at a price of, let's say, 3, right? Now, if that is the case, I know that, and the price of other goods is 1. So if that is the case, I know that initially the price is going to be 4. So the slope will be 4 by 1. Are you getting it? The price of the muffin is 4. Initially, the price is high for the first 12 muffins. Price of other goods is numerator. It's 1. So the slope is going to become 4. It is going to be high. But after 12 muffin, the price falls. It's a lower price. So let the price be 3. So if the price is 3, then the new slope will become 3 by 1. So initially, you have a steeper budget line, and then you have a flatter budget line. So to the right side of the king, it becomes flatter. To the left of the king, it becomes steeper. Are you getting it? So based on that, if I go back to the options, it says budget line will be kinked at 12, correct? And steeper to the right. No, it will be steeper to the left, because earlier you have a higher slope and then you have a lesser slope. So the answer, as all of you pointed out, is correct. It is going to be B. This was pretty easy. You just have to use the knowledge of budget lines. Okay, let us go to the next question. And this is an interesting one. Actually, this question had 2 parts, but I am just giving you one part to solve. So it says, consider a couple. Let me just start the timer first. Okay. It says, consider a couple who has the preference over private consumption, CG, and public consumption, capital C. And the utility function is given to you as log CG. CG is private consumption and plus some parameter gamma log capital C. It says this is a couple. So you have husband and wife. And we are allowing for the possibility that wife and husband can value the public good differently. Okay. But in this question, it is asking, compute the optimal consumption of public good on being single. Think about this and answer this question. You have 5 minutes to answer it. Okay, so time's up. Let us go ahead and have a look at the answer to this question. It is very simple, but it is very tricky. Why tricky? They gave all this information about a couple, about husband, wife, about etc., etc. But finally, when you read the question, It says compute optimal consumption of public good on being single. मतलब एक ही इंसान का optimization problem है. This is just the optimization problem of one person, right? So we know how to do optimization problems of one person. We just have to go ahead, maximize the utility subject to the budget constraint, right? So if we go ahead and look at the question, this is my utility function given to me. And what is my budget constraint? My budget constraint is that whatever money I spend on the public good and whatever I spend on the private good, that should equal to my income. That's it. It should be equal to YG. It should be equal to my income. That is what it is, right? So YG is the income of the individual and it should be equal to the income. That's it. That is what I have with me, right? So prices are not given. I will just take P as 1 and I will try to solve this question. So what has happened in this case then is that I am saying try to maximize this utility function subject to the condition that whatever I spend on public good plus private good should be equal to the income of the individual. Now beta, I can convert या तो Lagrange से solve करो, use Lagrange, or convert this into a single variable problem. That can also be done. So how will I convert this? Public plus private consumption is income. So instead of public, instead of capital C, I can go ahead and I can write income minus private consumption. That is what I have done in this case. So if I go ahead and I do this, this becomes a single variable optimization problem. ये वाला जो पूरा part है, this is just a single variable optimization problem. The only thing that I have to decide in this case is how much money I should be spending on the private good. Differentiate this with respect to CG. So when you differentiate this with respect to CG, differentiation of log CG will be 1 by CG. Differentiation of log YG minus CG will be YG minus CG. And here you will have minus 1. So when you solve for this, when you solve for the value of CG, you will get that the private consumption should be this. It should be YG upon 1 plus gamma G. This should be a private consumption. ठीक है जी, कुछ नहीं किया है. We have just tried to maximize the utility subject to the budget constraint. Now, the question is asking about the public good consumption. So what is optimal public good consumption? What is capital C star? It will be income minus private good consumption. Private good consumption, I have just found out. Optimal private good consumption. So I can do income minus private good consumption. And when I just put this value here and I solve for it, I will get the answer as this. ठीक है? That's the answer to your question. So answer will be A. So for those of you who answered it as A, that's the correct answer. बहुत simple है. अगर supposedly ये difficult लगता है, then use your normal method. What is your normal method, beta? बहुत simple है. If this is my utility function, then how do I apply my normal technique? In my normal technique, I would have gone ahead and I would have done what? I would have done MRS equal to PX by PY. ये तो करते हैं. So find MRS of this. MRS will be what? MU CG by MUC. MRS निकाल लो. Equated to price ratio. इस केस में हम 1 ले रहे हैं दोनों का price. You will get some equation, put it back in the budget line, get the optimal values of CG and C, or convert it into a single variable problem. So the answer to this question will be A. Okay, let's go on and move on to the next question. This is the next question for the day. So you are given, let me start the timer. You are given that limit x tends to 1. x to the power 4 minus 1 by x minus 1 is equal to limit x tends to 1, k, x cube minus k cube upon x square minus k square. This is x square minus k square, okay? What is the value of k? You have 5 minutes to solve this question. Find the value of k. This is x cube minus k cube, x square minus k square, x to the power 4 minus 1 and x minus 1. The two limits are equal. Find the value of k. Okay, so we are receiving the answer as D, B. Just go ahead and give more tries to it. The two limits are equal. Try to find the value of k. Try to expand the numerator and you should be able to solve it. Expand the numerator in both the cases. Okay, time's up. Let's go ahead and have a look at the solution to this problem. So what it says is that the two limits are equal. So to begin with, what I will do is, I will start with the first left-hand side, x to the power 4 minus 1 upon x minus 1. Just think about this. X to the power 4 minus 1, if I want to use the concept of a square minus b square, then can I just go ahead and say that this is a square minus b square? Can I write this as x square whole square minus 1 whole square, right? So if I think about this, this is nothing but a minus b, a plus b. So I can open this up and I can say that this is going to be x square minus 1 into x square plus 1, right? And again, I can open x square minus 1 in the similar format, a square minus b square format. So if I just think about this, then on the left hand side, I have tried to open this up. First, x to the power 4 minus 1 can be written as x square minus 1 into x square plus 1. And then I have gone ahead and I have opened x square minus 1, and that has become x minus 1, x plus 1, right? So this is my numerator divided by x minus 1. So this gets cancelled out. Now if I apply limit to it, if I put x equal to 1, I will get the answer as 1 plus 1, which is 2, into 2. So answer will be 4. So I have been able to solve that the left side becomes 4. Now let's look at the right hand side beta. So to solve the right hand side, it is this. X cube minus k cube is coming in the numerator. Just apply the formula of a cube minus b cube. It is a minus b, a square plus b square plus ab. So x cube minus k cube will become x minus k, x square plus k square plus xk. And denominator will become x minus k into x plus k. X minus k will cancel out. So this is what you will get. But x tends to k. X tends to k. So everywhere instead of x put k. When you will put k instead of x everywhere, you will get 3 by 2 into k. So you have to now equate the two. So from this side, I have got the answer as 4. From here, I have got 3 by 2 into k. Equate the two together. So when you equate this, 4 is equal to 3 by 2k. K will become 8 by 3. So you are correct for those students who mentioned that the answer should be D. That's the correct answer. It is in fact D only. D is the correct answer to this question. Okay. Now let us go ahead to the next question.
Okay, so we are receiving the answer as D, B. Just go ahead and give more tries to it. The two limits are equal. Try to find the value of K. Try to expand the numerator and you should be able to solve it. Expand the numerator in both the cases. Okay, time's up. Let's go ahead and have a look at the solution to this problem. So what it says is that the two limits are equal. So to begin with, what I will do is, I will start with the first left-hand side, x to the power 4 minus 1 upon x minus 1. Just think about this. X to the power 4 minus 1, if I want to use the concept of a square minus b square, then can I just go ahead and say that this is a square minus b square? Can I write this as x square whole square minus 1 whole square, right? So if I think about this, this is nothing but a minus b, a plus b. So I can open this up and I can say that this is going to be x square minus 1 into x square plus 1, right? And again, I can open x square minus 1 in the similar format, a square minus b square format. So if I just think about this, then on the left-hand side, I have tried to open this up. First, x to the power 4 minus 1 can be written as x square minus 1 into x square plus 1. And then I have gone ahead and I have opened x square minus 1, and that has become x minus 1, x plus 1, right? So this is my numerator divided by x minus 1. So this gets cancelled out. Now if I apply limit to it, if I put x equal to 1, I will get the answer as 1 plus 1, which is 2, into 2. So answer will be 4. So I have been able to solve that the left side becomes 4. Now let's look at the right hand side beta. So to solve the right hand side, it is this. X cube minus k cube is coming in the numerator. Just apply the formula of a cube minus b cube. It is a minus b, a square plus b square plus ab. So x cube minus k cube will become x minus k, x square plus k square plus xk. And denominator will become x minus k into x plus k. X minus k will cancel out. So this is what you will get. But x tends to k. X tends to k. So everywhere instead of x put k. When you will put k instead of x everywhere, you will get 3 by 2 into k. So you have to now equate the two. So from this side, I have got the answer as 4. From here, I have got 3 by 2 into k. Equate the two together. So when you equate this, 4 is equal to 3 by 2k. K will become 8 by 3. So you are correct for those students who mentioned that the answer should be D. That's the correct answer. It is in fact D only. D is the correct answer to this question. Okay. Now let us go ahead to the next question. This is a difficult one, and I want you to think thoroughly before you attempt this question. I am going ahead and starting the timer for you. Consumer consumes only two goods X and Y. Price of good X is P. And in another market, it is Q. P is greater than Q. But when you have to go to the distant market, there is a fixed cost C. Consumer's income is I. And you have smooth downward sloping convex ICs. Which of the following option is true? You're given four options. Think thoroughly and then solve this question. Okay, time's up. Let us have a look at this question together. Very, very good question, okay? For those of you who said A, let us see if that is correct or not. Think about it. Let us go ahead and write the budget constraint of the local market. For the local market, the budget constraint is what? Either it's good X or I'm spending on all other good Y. Hai na? So P is the price of good X in the local market. This is what it says, right? P is the price of good X in the local market. So it is going to be P into X plus 1 into Y. Dusra good is numerator. 1 into Y is equal to income of the consumer. So if I were to find the X and the Y axis, बहुत simple है. On the X axis, the intercept will be I by P, put Y equal to 0. On the Y axis, the intercept will be I only, put X equal to 0. So ये local market का budget constraint हो गया. Now, if I want to find the budget constraint of the distinct market, what will that be, beta? The price of good X is Q. So it will be Q into X plus price of good Y is Y, 1. And I am only left up with my how much income? I minus C. C has gone as a fixed cost. So the remaining income that I have is I minus C. Clear ho gaya? Now, beta, if I were to plot this, the y-axis intercept will be I minus C. The x-axis intercept, अगर हम x-axis के intercept की बात करें, that will be I minus C by Q. So how do I find x-axis intercept? Put this as 0. If you put this as 0, you will get x as I minus C by Q. Beta, if I am taking case 1, if I assume that I minus C by Q is less than I by P, if I minus C by Q is less than I minus P, I by P, तो बेटा जो दूसरी मार्केट की बजट लाइन बनती है, that is interior, that is internal to the earlier budget line. जो करंट मार्केट की बजट लाइन है, उसके इंटरसेप्ट I and I by P है. जो डिस्टिंक्ट मार्केट की बजट लाइन है, उसके इंटरसेप्ट I minus C और I minus C by Q है. So clearly we can see that this budget line will be internal to the other budget line. So just think about this. If I take any bundle, I will always want to be on the upper budget line. I don't want to be there on the internal budget line. Simple revealed preference concept. Preference concept, hai na? I don't want to be there on any point which is inside this budget line. I always want to be on the budget line. तो दोनों के मेरे equilibrium bundles होंगे. That would be different. I will have different equilibrium bundles in the two cases. Is this clear? Okay, beta. Now what most of you do, and I will highlight that point, what most of you would have done is that most of you would have found out the difference between the two budget lines. इसको budget line 1 लिया, px plus y is equal to y. इसको budget line 2 लिया, qx plus y is equal to I minus c. And you find the difference between the two budget lines. And the difference will come out to be p minus qx is equal to c. Difference will come out as p minus qx is equal to c. And when this difference will come, you will think, okay, this will always hold. This is the answer to this question now, that it will always hold. But nahi. But for this to hold, we are assuming that Q naught is the equilibrium consumption bundle. Sorry, X naught is the equilibrium consumption bundle, which is the same in the two cases. It's not the same, no? The consumption bundle, मेरा जो X naught आया है, my equilibrium bundle, in this case, is much above the equilibrium bundle in this case. That equation would have held true if you were consuming the same bundle in the two cases. Are you getting it? I am not consuming the same bundle in the two cases. I am consuming different bundles in the two cases. Therefore, it would be wrong to say that that equation holds true. Now, let's take case 2. Some people argue that, ma'am, if I look at the question, it says price in this market is greater than the price in the distinct market. Okay, no problem. Let us take the other example. Let's take case 2 in this case now, beta. So in case 2, I have taken something like this. Let's say price in your market is 2. Price in the distinct market is 1. The fixed cost is 2. And your income is 10. And let's draw the two budget lines. So if I draw the two budget lines, this is how these two budget lines will look. And these two budget lines will intersect at one point. Now you may say, ma'am, अगर ये दोनों intersect कर रही हैं, then there is a common bundle. So if I find the difference between the two budget lines, that equation comes back into picture. But beta, that's also not correct. In this case also, when I find the optima of the two budget lines, I have to find an IC which is tangent to both the budget lines. Right? But IC which will be tangent to both budget lines cannot pass through the kink point, through their intersection point. So I will still not be able to find one optima bundle that satisfies both the budget line equations. I cannot find one equilibrium bundle that satisfies both the budget equation. Is this making sense? So beta, unless your IC would have been complementary good, but it says that ICs are convex. So I cannot find one point of optima using the two budget lines. So the two budget lines will not have the same X naught. They will have different X naught. They will have different equilibrium bundles. So then this equation using the same equilibrium bundle is not possible, right? So the answer to this question is that this does not hold true. It may seem to you it holds true, but it does not. It's a very tricky question. It came in ISI 2004 paper beta. I picked up one question from ISI 2004 PEB paper, but it's an excellent question where you have to use a lot of the information. Okay. Okay, let's go to the last question for the day, a very simple question. So I'm just going to go ahead and start the timer for you. You're given fx is this. You're supposed to go ahead and find out which of the following is true. I'm starting the timer. So your function is x square plus x square upon 1 plus x square plus x square upon 1 plus x square whole square and so on. Then at x is equal to 0, which of the following statement is true? Just find the answer to this question. Okay, beta, try to answer this question. So just post your answers. You're given a function and you have to evaluate at x is equal to 0. This is x squared upon 1 plus x squared whole square, okay? Okay, time's up. Let's have a look at the solution. So, when we go ahead and we look at this is simply an infinite GP, right? You can go ahead and you can take x square common. And when you will take x square common, it will be 1 plus 1 by 1 plus x square plus 1 upon 1 plus x square whole square and so on. That's the infinite GP that we are talking about. So sum of infinite GP is a upon 1 minus r. And what is the common ratio? This is the common ratio, 1 upon 1 plus x square. So beta, if I apply infinite GP formula to this, I know that my function simply will be a upon 1 upon 1 minus r. So if you solve this, you will simply get 1 plus x square. You will simply get the answer as 1 plus x square. Now, if I just think about this, then, I understand that if I evaluate this function at x is equal to 0, I will get the answer as 1. When I put x is equal to 0 in this function, I will get the answer as 1. But this question, oh, this is missing actually, my fault. This says that this is the function at x not equal to 0. I just missed a line that the function is 0 at x equal to 0. So if the function is 0 at x equal to 0, and for any value close enough to 0, I'm getting the answer as 1. I know that the limit is not equal to the value of the function and the function is discontinuous. So I skipped that line in the question. So if that line is missing, then the function is continuous and differentiable. But if I add that line back to the question, then the function will be discontinuous. Okay, so that is it that I had for you guys. Just go ahead and try these questions again, and best of luck for your